Planning a trip to Dublin, Ireland? Well, you're in luck. We spent 3 days in Dublin, Ireland and had the perfect itinerary just for you. Dublin has a large amount of attractions, museums, pubs, and tours to do, and it can definitely be overwhelming for first-time visitors. So we put together our suggested 3-day itinerary that takes in Dublin's most popular attractions. Use this as a starting point for planning your trip, and if you traveled to Dublin, Ireland before, we would love to hear some of your top recommendations in the comments. Now let's jump in and see what Dublin, Ireland is all about.
First international trip! Let's go!
Traveling to Dublin, Ireland for the first time with my wife Ruth and my brother Mike. We wasted no time, and the first thing we did once we landed was get a feel of the city and walked around. What's great about Dublin is that you can walk, bus, or take a train around the city. The first place we visited was St. Stephen's Green. This historic parkland is located in the center of Dublin, and you can't miss it. The park has been open to the public since 1877. We were pleasantly surprised to see so many people out enjoying the local park early in the day. This 22-acre park is a charming place to escape the hustle and bustle of Dublin. Give yourself some time to walk around and enjoy the greenery of this historic park. You can't visit Dublin without checking out the Temple Bar District. The Temple Bar District is full of pubs, bars, restaurants, and tourists. This is the hub of Dublin's party scene and one of the most popular tourist attractions in the city. Walking the cobblestone streets and listening to all the great music coming from the pubs is an experience to itself. The Temple Bar has plenty of charm and character to it. While the locals might avoid this place and call it an overpriced tourist trap, I recommend checking this place at least once and grabbing yourself a pint. And if you're looking for a great place to eat that won't break the bank, then check out the Elephant Castle, serving up some delicious burgers. If you want a true introduction to the city of Dublin and solidify your Dublin experience, then you definitely want to check out the historical walking tour. Meeting across from Trinity College, our tour takes us along the streets of Dublin, visiting many historical landmarks from the historic Trinity College, the Bank of Ireland, which was originally Ireland Colonial Parliament, the Temple Bar District, Wood Quay Amphitheatre, which was my favorite part of the tour, visiting Dublin's oldest cathedral, and ending at Dublin's Castle. Let's talk about my favorite part of the tour. It was the Wood Quay Amphitheatre. This site had a Viking city with tons of artifacts. Unfortunately, they decided to build over this site back in the 70s, but Grace, who's an expert on Dublin's medieval history, encouraged us to check out Ireland's National Museum, which many of the artifacts found at this site are on display. You're encouraged to ask questions along the tour, and it's a great way to learn about Dublin's history. The historical walking tour took around 2 hours to complete, and it goes by pretty fast. After the tour ended, we were right next to the Chester Beatty Museum. It's free to enter and a great place for a quick bite to eat. It's ranked one of the top 5 things to do in Dublin. You see the Chester Extraordinary Collection from countries from all over the world, like Asia, the Middle East, North Africa, and Europe. He donated his collection to the Irish nation and is considered Ireland's greatest gifts. If you have time to check it out, give yourself 1 to 2 hours to see the whole museum. After eating a quick lunch and visiting the Chester Beatty Museum, we visit Dublin's Castle grounds and admire the architecture. And on the site of a Viking settlement, Dublin Castle was for 700 years the seat of British power in Ireland. Walking on the grounds is free, but if you wanted to book a castle tour, you will have to do so online in advance. I'll leave the link and information in the description if you wanted to learn more. You can't visit Dublin without visiting Trinity College. It's a must-see on the itinerary of all visitors to Dublin. It's the first college in Ireland's history. We decided to do the Trinity College campus tour as it would add to our appreciation to Ireland's history. The Trinity College tour is student-led, and with over 400 years of history, it's unsurprising that Trinity College has produced plenty of successful alumni, like Oscar Wilde and Bram Stoker. On the tour, we learned about the architecture, traditions, and life today. Even if you don't book a tour, just walking the historic grounds is worth your visit. On the tour, you also get an introduction to one of the most visited attractions in Dublin, the Book of Kells. The Book of Kells and the Old Library exhibition is one of Dublin's most visited attractions. Located in the heart of the city, Trinity College. The highlight is the Book of Kells, a 9th century manuscript that documents the 4 Gospels of life and Jesus Christ. The Book of Kells is Ireland's greatest cultural treasure and the world's most famous medieval manuscript. No photos or videos can be taken of the actual book, and it's something you have to see for yourself. The exhibition also features the Long Room, one of the world's most beautiful libraries, and houses over 200,000 of Trinity College's oldest books.
Day two, guys.
Yeah, it was an educational experience from the tour, the first tour to the second tour.
How come you got a photo of the Book of Kells?
What?
The National Museum of Ireland. This wasn't originally on our itinerary, but after doing the walking history tour, I wanted to check it out. Things to note that this museum closes at 5 p.m. We spent a good hour admiring the artifacts on display. The Viking exhibits and Lurgan longboat is incredible to see in person. They had tons of medieval artifacts on display. There's plenty to see, and give yourself at least 3 hours to enjoy the whole museum. Even if you're short on time, put this on the list of must-visit places in Dublin. You won't be disappointed. Ireland loves music and telling stories. My brother Mike loves music and told us we had to do this. Booking a pub crawl is worth your time and money. Listening to traditional Irish music in a pub is an experience you won't forget. We met at the Halfpenny Bridge Inn, drank a pint of Guinness, and enjoyed listening to traditional Irish music, learning about the history and influence of Irish music from around the world. After a few songs on the pub crawl, we head to another pub and cross the historic Halfpenny Bridge and walk Dublin's famous O'Connell Street. If you want to embrace yourself in Irish music and relax drinking your favorite adult beverage, then you have to do a pub crawl. We enjoyed spending time in Dublin, and since we were only spending 3 days in Ireland, we decided to book a bus tour out of Dublin to see other great sites in Ireland, like the cliffs of Moher, Burren National Park, and spending time in another great city, Galway City. The bus tour is a great way to see other sites outside of Dublin if you're short on time. Me and my brother Mike dedicated a whole video on this bus tour and discussed if it's worth your time and money. Click on the info card above or check it out in the description to learn more. We couldn't leave Dublin without visiting Ireland's #1 attraction for international travelers, and it's definitely a must visit, the Guinness Storehouse. We learned the story of Guinness, and as soon as you head up the escalator, you see the 9,000-year lease signed and sealed from 1759 by Arthur Guinness himself. With over 7 floors to explore, give yourself between 2 to 3 hours to explore everything. You get to learn about the history, heart, and soul of Ireland's most iconic beer. It's not every day you visit the world's largest pint of Guinness. The Guinness Storehouse lives up to the hype, and on each level you learn something new. It's not just a tour for your eyes. The smell and tasting of Guinness is an experience in itself. The tasting experience is one of the many highlights here on the tour. Honestly, this felt like I walked into a Willy Wonka factory, and instead of chocolate, we were treated with the smelling and tasting of different samples of Guinness. On the 3rd floor, you'll also see the unforgettable ads throughout Guinness history. Do you remember the bicycling fish? Or how about the singing oyster? The Guinness Storehouse is informative, fun, engaging, entertaining, and did I mention at the very end, you get served a fresh pint of Guinness at Gravity Bar. One of the best rooftop bars in all of Ireland, you end your tour with unparalleled views of Dublin. Your admission includes a pint of Guinness. You're sitting in one of the highest points in Dublin City. You can even see the Wicklow Mountains sitting at Gravity Bar. What a way to end our visit to Ireland, drinking a Guinness and enjoying the views of Dublin City. We knocked out all these activities on our itinerary in 3 days. And if you haven't already, like the video and share some of your top attractions you would add when visiting Dublin, Ireland. Subscribe to Mr.S Travel Quest and check out some of our other great Ireland videos. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.